Happy greetings, everyone. I'm Crystal Forman, the owner and educator of Holistic Wellness and Health, where we make healthy living easy, nutritious, delicious, and fun with a focus on plant-based food and meditation to help you live a healthier, compassionate, and more vibrant life. Today, we're making fluffy vegan pancakes. This is still National Hot Breakfast Month, so I want to close out the month with a recipe that I've been asked to make. Several times over the past couple of years. So I actually have a waffle maker now. I haven't had one in a while, and this is just a great opportunity for me to show you all how to make easy, fluffy or waffles without using eggs. So I'm going to plug in my waffle maker. Each one is different. This one actually, as soon as you plug it in, it turns on. So like you want to wait until like each waffle iron has different instructions. This one, I have to wait until it turns green and then it's ready. I have preheated it already, so it won't take as long. I love this one because I can do 2 waffles at one time. So I'm gonna fill up the first part and then I'll flip it and put some more in. I have grapeseed oil, just a little bit in here to help grease our plates here. So I've already put some on this one. And I can just show you, turn this. And I'm just going to put a little oil on here as well. So it's ready to go. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask and chime in. And while that is getting hot, let's make our batter for our waffles. So I have here 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And you can sift it in, or you can just like take a whisk to break up any clumps. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of our baking powder. So our baking powder is actually acting as our egg in this dish. For like eggs can do different things to your recipe when you're cooking, and in this case, it makes it rise. So we're going to get that same action by adding in our baking powder. The baking powder also makes this very fluffy. I'm just going to mix that. And a ½ teaspoon of our pink Himalayan salt. Put that all in. And that's ready to go. So while that is sitting there, we're going to make our own vegan buttermilk using, I'm using almond milk today. You can use soy milk or cashew milk, any other milk will do well with this. And in order to make it more like a buttermilk, we're just going to add in some apple cider vinegar. So I have 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar here. Hi, Miss Adrian. How are you? It's good to see you. Happy greetings and happy Friday. And happy belated birthday. Yeah. So I just put in our vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, you can also use lemon juice. So just something with a little acid to our milk here. And this is going to help it thicken and make it become more like a buttermilk. And to this, I'm going to add in a ½ teaspoon of our vanilla extract. Mix that all together. We're going to let that sit for a few minutes. And while so this is actually ready, awesome. That is sitting, I'm going to add in my brown sugar. So I have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar here. That in our dry ingredients. And you just want to whisk everything together, the dry ingredients, before you add the wet ingredients. It makes it easier for the overall mixture. And once again, like I said, you can sift this. So sifting it actually makes it even fluffier. What I'm doing here is also helping to make it a fluffier batter. All right. So I'm going to go on. Usually I like to let this sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm going to go and do it right now so we don't have to wait that long. So it's ready to go. Hey, Miss Ernestine, good to see you as well. Next is already thickened up some. Cool. So we're going to just whisk all of this together. And let's see if my eyes will help me. Yes, Miss Ernestine from New York. Good to see you here. When you're making your batter, you don't want to overmix this. So if it has some clumps and lumps, that's actually a good thing. That's what you want. You don't want this super smooth, and you do want this thick. If you make it too thin, it will take longer for your waffles to get done, and it will be more like crispy, like hard crispy. instead of more like fluffy waffles. So nice thick batter here. See how thick that is? That's what we want. And we're going to take about half a cup of this to put in our waffle iron. So this one is this side first. So each waffle iron is different. Like I said earlier, so just make sure you're following the directions for your waffle iron. I can't remember who asked me to do waffles. I'm not sure if it was you, Miss Adrian, or if it was Miss Rodette. I just remember someone asking me to do that. And I knew I wanted to do it for National Hot Breakfast Month. So I'm glad I'm able to get this done for you all. And I love eating what's considered breakfast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So let's see. So that is on there. Close this down, clamp it, turn it, open this side. And so you know the waffles are done when it stops steaming. So if you put too much liquid in here and make it more like a pancake batter, like I said, it's going to be really crispy. And it takes so much longer for that water to evaporate. So it takes longer to cook. And unless you really have a reason for it being super crunchy, it's better not to make it too liquidy. So clamp this down. And the green light went off. So now we just have to wait until it's ready and we will flip it again. So for this, I'm actually going to serve it with some strawberries and bananas. And for the next batch, I'm going to add in some pecans here. So I could use the pecans as a topping, or I can put it directly into the batter, completely up to you. Yes. So if you're watching this as a replay, make sure you say hello and let me know that you are here. I always appreciate it. And make sure you're saying hi and making comments as well. It helps more people see these videos, and I don't have to do ads or anything like that because they don't need any more money. So yeah, but we still need to share the information out there. So definitely make sure you share this with others and say hello. Just put some hearts in the comment section and thumbs up or hearts on the video as well. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. It's at Holistic Wellness and Health, and you can just put in my name to find it. And it has the Apple logo. For tomorrow, I am doing a cooking demo in Cherry Hill, but I'm also doing a food justice talk. This is the first in a series of talks. Tomorrow we're focusing on grounding ourselves in the agricultural history of America. So we'll focus mostly on African and African American history in the Americas with agriculture, as well as indigenous to Native Americans to this country. So definitely tune in. You can find out more information by going to holistic-wellnessandhealth.com. Click on the events section, and it'll tell you about upcoming events, including the Food Justice Talk. We have our special guest, Eric Jackson from Black Yield Institute. He's an author and filmmaker as well. He did a documentary on the food insecurities in Cherry Hill, Baltimore. For those who don't know, Cherry Hill is the oldest African-American suburb that still exists in the United States of America. It's actually one of the first African-American suburbs, and it is still surviving. Unfortunately, it's surviving and not thriving. And that's because they haven't had a supermarket there in over 20 years. So we're going to talk about food insecurity, but also the perseverance of our people throughout history and as we continue on today, because people like Eric are creating food systems for us, by us, to make sure that people are getting fresh local produce. So he actually has a market going, and they have the co-op as well. So let's see, this one did light up. Let's take this one out first. So it is fluffy. I actually like my waffles a little darker. I'm going to take this batch out and just show you all our next one with our pecans added to this. let's get some more batter in. Does anyone have any questions or comments about anything? And so definitely check out the Food Justice Talks. It will not be recorded for sharing the recording. I will be recording it for making transcripts. So definitely you want to show up live for it. We're going to do a genogram. Hemi Kim from the Unity Collective is going to join us as well. And we're going to do a genogram, which is basically a pictorial history of our families and tie that into our timeline, our historical timeline. So let's take this one out. Like I said, this is the first in a series, so I'm very excited about doing this talk, and I'm really excited to have Eric on as our first guest as well. So one more, this is a half cup. So you can see that I didn't fill up the whole thing. I didn't want it to be messy. I could probably get away with 3/4 cup in this, but I really don't want to mess. So just keeping it in the center is good for me. I'll add some pecans here. Close that down. There we go. And wait for that to get done. So, and this batter will make about 6 waffles this size, so good amount. And like I said, we're going to serve this with some bananas and strawberries, and also have some organic maple syrup here. And I can also top it with the pecans, but you can top it with whatever produce fruits you want, or just eat it just like that. And you don't have to add anything to it. I actually did this same recipe with some young people on Wednesday, and some of them were just eating it just like that. I was really surprised that they didn't necessarily want syrup, but a lot of them did go for the syrup as well, and the fruit, but they liked it just like that. So you can just like break it off and eat it as a snack, just as it is. So let's see. That's going to be lighting up in one moment. Does anyone have any questions? No. And I will say this. I forgot to add an ingredient. And that's okay. It looks like it's turning out okay anyway. So the ingredient I did not add, so the recipe is on the website, is our butter. So I'm actually going to see how this works without the vegan butter. I'm using Country Crops vegan butter, and so I don't know if you all can see that, but the steam is coming up, so you can still see that it's cooking. But let's see what happens here. Actually, you know what? Let me taste it. That might be why it didn't come out as golden as I'm used to, because it doesn't have the fat added. But oh wow, it's so fluffy though. So let's see. This is really good. This actually reminds me of the stuff that I would get at the fair. I actually think I like it better without the butter. I'm really surprised. I was kind of concerned because I'm feeding this to my family. This tastes like the waffles. You know how the waffle cones for the ice cream? Oh my God, this is so good. Oh, I'm going to edit the recipe. I don't think it needs the butter. And it decreases the cost of this recipe by not having the vegan butter. So there we go. That's good. So it's still steaming. It's almost done. Does anyone have any questions about anything? It's good. Yeah, it is good. So a happy mistake. Okay, so this one is lit up. This one has our pecans in it. And so even though it's not as golden as I normally would like, it's done, it's fluffy, and it's delicious. So I am going to be okay with it looking like that because it tastes really good. So it doesn't matter that it's not like super beautiful golden to me. So let's flip this one more time. Yep, that one is ready as well. But if I really did want it a little darker, I could leave it in here. This one actually did get a little browner. So I could leave it in here just a little longer if I wanted to, but I think it's perfect, and I don't want to make it too hard or crunchy for my family. So we'll just keep it like that. See, I see some more comments coming in. Thank you, Dovita. And let's see. Oh, can't read that. I'm going to come up closer. Full justice link does not work. You know what? I might have copied and pasted in wrong. So go to this Food Justice Talks .eventbrite. So if you go to my business page, you should find it that way as well. If you go to holistic-wellnessandhealth.com/events and click on it, if it does, that should work. From there, if the link that I put in the comments might not work the first time I put it in, I'm not sure if you're watching from the group. I think you're watching from the group, Miss Adrienne, the Facebook group. Actually, the link probably is not in there. It should be on when I've posted for StreamYard for this. I did 2 comments. Whenever I use StreamYard, it does not go to my personal page or my group, the links that I put in. So if you go to Holistic Wellness and Health's Facebook page or the YouTube channel, you should see it there. The first time I put it in, I put a period right next to the Eventbrite, so that link might not work, but the second one hopefully will work. So let me know. Just type in foodjusticetalks.eventbrite.com and definitely share it with others. This is going to be an interactive, more like workshop style. So bring paper and pencil, and I'm going to send out an email probably late this evening, early tomorrow morning, with a page that you can print, totally optional, that has like a diagram of the symbols, like kind of like a legend for the genogram. But yeah, totally interactive. So yeah, Miss Adrienne, let me know if it's working for you, because it was working just like an hour or so ago. So I might have copied it, I might not have copied it and pasted it into the comment section well. Yeah, so let's see how this one is doing. I didn't have anything there yet. All right, so I'm going to just do one more batch, but are there any other questions or comments from anyone? And I usually find I don't need to continue to add any moist or any butter or oil to the irons once it's going, once it's nice and hot. So let's just get this in. One more scoop, and I'm just going to wait to see if anyone else has any questions while I make the last one. Next to the recipe is on the website. This should be ready to go. So you know what, I'm going to put some pecans in this one as well. Last one. So, yep. This is enough to fill up and make a total of 6 of these waffles here. So I'm going to scrape out the rest of this just to fill this up, and it is ready. And like I said, this is a super inexpensive recipe, and with the cost of eggs and everything, this is just a great way to save money. And it's also a great way to have, your waffles without any cholesterol. Breakfast in this country, breakfast foods tend to have a lot of cholesterol. We're very dairy, meat, egg heavy with our breakfast options. So definitely, this is an inexpensive and easy way to get a delicious breakfast, and young people love it. I don't see if Miss Adrienne was able to get back on the site, but if anyone has problems, then when I get off of this live, I will check back through and see, make sure everything's working okay. But foodjusticetalks.eventbrite.com. Hopefully I will see you all tomorrow on Zoom, and as we go and ground ourselves in history. So thank you all so much for joining me for our last breakfast dish for National Hot Breakfast Month. I see this, those have something as well. So let's see can you brush the waffle maker with butter to brown the waffles a little? Yes, I would use grapeseed oil though, just because the butter might smoke and burn just a little bit, but try it with, I usually use the Country Crock butter, so that might work okay. Let me know though, just in case you see that as well. And actually, is this Aunt Darlene? Okay. Yeah, I'm just realizing. Yeah, so I think you can use butter, but I would just be worried about it smoking just a little bit. Yeah, but I wouldn't use olive oil though. Yeah. So I'm going to go on and tune out, but thank you all so much for joining. And hopefully, I will see some of you all live on the Zoom tomorrow. And right after the food justice talks, I will be going to Cherry Hill and doing a cooking demo there at their Cherry Hill Market. So, like I said, they found a way to persevere and they have created their own market and they're creating a co-op as well. So the market is open every Saturday from I believe it's 12 to 5. I will be there 3:30 tomorrow. I'm usually there on the second and fourth Saturdays at 2:30, but I'm doing 3:30 tomorrow just because of the talk. So definitely I will be updating the website soon with all of the upcoming events for March. March already. Wow. So anyway, I will see you all later. Peace, blessings, and love everyone. Take care.